How has my family coped with my otaku-ness? A little too well, I'm afraid. Okay, so the topic this week, the mission this week, is talk about how our families have dealt with our otaku-ness, because sometimes families don't get into it. Mine is the opposite. I actually kind of had a cool idea, but I decided to film this while my mom was gone, so we're just going to talk about it. I got into anime when I was 16, which I know we've talked about before. So I was 16 when I got into it, and I kind of had it hidden sort of from my family. My family didn't know the extent of what I was watching. I always made sure to watch Inuyasha or anything else that had swearing in it when they were asleep. Well, when my mom was asleep, my dad didn't live with us. When my mom was asleep or when she wasn't home, that kind of thing, because I didn't know how she would take the swearing in a cartoon kind of thing. That my mom was relatively overprotective when I was even a teenager. However, she eventually found out that they swore, and she was fine with it. So I was worried for no real reason. This time around is a little different. Okay, very different. Now I'm watching anime with my dad around. Now my dad always knew that I was into this Japanese cartoon thing, and he always knew that it would probably blow over, which technically it sort of did, until I went to my sophomore year of college, which then I got back into it. And now he's just kind of quiet about it. He really doesn't talk about it. He really doesn't think about it. He knows that I really love going to anime conventions, and he's supportive of that. He saw me in cosplay once, which was really awkward considering I was my Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys have seen Yu-Gi-Oh!, you guys would know why that was a little awkward. And he also knows that I will be a staff member for GeekCon in Madison, and he's really proud of me. He thinks that that's really cool. He knows that conventions are a really important part. He took me to Vancouver to go to see the city and to go to an anime convention out there. So, you know, he knows how important it is to me, and he's supportive. My mother is what was really different. My mother is what really went crazy. After moving back in with my parents, I kind of wanted to rewatch Trigun. And my mom, at the time, always was down here because she had her computer down here. My old laptop, which had to be connected to a monitor because the screen is broken, so she had to connect it to a monitor, so technically it became a desktop. So she rewatched Trigun and Gundam Wing with me one time and fell in love with anime, and is starting to build her own manga collection as we speak. She's currently reading Samurai Deeper Kyo. She's going to start reading Codebreaker soon. We watched Death Note together. She wants to watch the rest of Gundam 00. She's been watching it off and on throughout the whole time that I've been watching it, and she's really intrigued by it. She thinks it's really cool. She wants to rewatch Gundam Wing and Trigun, because she's not too familiar with that. We're currently sort of watching Gurren Lagann. Even though she'd kill me if I said this, she's reading the Finder series, which is a yaoi title. She's kind of embarrassed about being a yaoi fangirl, but I told her, you know, in the otaku community, it's not something to be necessarily kind of embarrassed about. It's cool. As long as she doesn't, like, turn into a crazy person. It's okay. The real thing started when she was writing a book, and I said, hey, you should call that creature a Shinigami. And she was intrigued, and I told her about Death Note, and she was even more intrigued. And so we watched Death Note, and she loved it. It's still her favorite anime ever. And it still might be mine. But I don't know. Anyway, she's gonna go to Anime Detour with me this year. She might go to GeekCon with me, but because she has to get her own room at GeekCon, she might not, so that's questionable, but we'll see. It's awesome either way. So she's starting to get into the whole convention thing too. But I was gonna have her appear in this video, which she wasn't gonna want to do anyway, but I was still gonna make her, but no, she's not here. So anyway, and my idea was so funny too. Oh well, maybe that'll be the intro video for my video next week. Who knows? No, we'll see you tomorrow.